The Lean Canvas tool was created by Ash Moira, the author of the international bestseller Running Lean, How to Iterate from Plan A to a Plan That Works. The Lean Canvas is designed to help entrepreneurs to quickly document their hypotheses about the business they are building. It was originally adapted from the Business Model Canvas by Alex Osterwalder in a way that makes it more relevant for early-stage companies. In this video series, we will go through the different sections of the canvas to help you get a better picture of your business. The canvas works best when you fill it out in a particular order. We therefore recommend using sticky notes so the canvas is easy to modify later. We have also included digital resources for filling in the canvas that are available on our Slack. In order to illustrate how the Lean Canvas is used, we've used a case study of Uneco, which is an early-stage startup that one of the collective team members is working on. The problem section should be filled with the top 3 problems that you are solving for your target customer. Your customer and your user might be different depending on the nature of your business. But if this is the case, it is still important to define the customer's problem. Ideally, this should be defined based on the customer conversations that you've had and not just your assumptions. Here's a worked example. For Uneco, the problem statements were refined a lot over the first few months after secondary research and speaking to customers. Currently, the startup aims to tackle the following 3 problems. Firstly, parents cannot easily find second-hand children's wear items that they like that are of the right size and quality. Second, there are now fewer people with the skills to repair and remake items, which means that clothes are more likely to be thrown away. And thirdly, those that can repair or remake items and make money through this have a hard time finding affordable raw materials. Aside from the customer-centric problems, Uneco aims to address the problem that less than 1% of textiles that are recycled are remade into new clothing, as well as the more general issues with textile waste. In this section, you identify who are your target customers and users, if they are different. You should try and be specific with the demographics and to make sure that what you are putting down reflects your learnings so far. After outlining your general customer segments, you should identify specific traits that your early adopters will possess. Here's a worked example again. Uneco's customer segments are parents, mainly mothers, in the United Kingdom with school-aged children under 15. The characteristics that the startup looks for in early adopters are concern for the environment, live in London, and already buy and sell second-hand children's wear regularly through existing solutions. The unique value proposition is what sets you apart from the competition and is one of the most important aspects. Without having a compelling value proposition, it is next to impossible to build a business. In order to make sure that your value proposition is truly unique, it is important to carry out thorough competitor research. There are several ways to define your value proposition. One popular example was defined by Jeff Moore in his popular book, Crossing the Chasm. The template is as follows. For, target customer. Who, statement of the need or opportunity. Our product service name is product category. That, statement of benefit. The focus on benefits over features is important. As we have mentioned in the previous videos, customers buy solutions to problems, not product features. This template can be expanded upon to include a differentiating factor that sets you apart from existing solutions, whether they are direct competitors or substitutes. Unlike current solutions or competitors, differentiating factor. We have included other versions of the value proposition in the extra resources pack. Here's a worked example again. For parents of school-aged children in the UK who are keen to buy and sell second-hand children's wear whenever possible, our platform is a peer-to-peer marketplace that gives parents the tools to repair and upcycle the clothes they own so they can sell them at higher prices. Unlike existing marketplaces, we go one step further when it comes to sustainability and reduce landfill waste through arranging textile waste swaps. In the problem section, you list the top 3 features of your product and service that help you solve the problems you have identified in section 1. It might be useful to note down what features are connected to what problem. It is likely that you have a lot more features than just 3. Although it is good to have a backlog of features for future development, in order to launch quickly and learn from the market as fast as possible, it is essential that you focus on the most essential features. Here's a worked example again. Uneco is a peer-to-peer marketplace for children's wear and school uniforms with the following key features. 1. Free online upcycling courses that teach parents how to prolong the lives of the items they own. 2. Monthly upcycling resource packs that are exclusive to sellers on the platform. And 3. A textile waste exchange platform, so parents with textile waste can easily give it away to households that can remake or repair the items. A company's unfair advantage is something that cannot be easily copied or bought. As a young person potentially building your very first business, filling in this box can be extremely hard. This is completely okay. Many companies that are just starting out do not have an unfair advantage from the get-go. It is better to leave this box blank until you can put down a strong unfair advantage, rather than filling it in with a weak placeholder. Some entrepreneurs going after unsaturated markets often claim the first mover advantage, but this is very often not an advantage at all. For example, Facebook was not the first social network, and Google wasn't the first search engine, yet they have managed to outcompete many that came before them. First movers make a lot of mistakes as they test a previously untested market, which can allow fast followers to get a piece of the action by learning from the mistakes of the first movers. So what is a good unfair advantage? Good examples of unfair advantages are existing customers, a community, endorsements from experts and industry leaders, search engine optimization ranking, network effects when they are large enough, or a great team for the identified problem. If you don't have an unfair advantage yet, it is worth thinking about how you can develop at least one of them and work on a strategy to achieve it as soon as possible. Here's another worked example. Currently, Uneco is working towards building a community of parents who are interested in repairing and upcycling children's clothing that can hopefully serve as an unfair advantage once it is established. Revenue streams allow you to capture the value you create for your customer. Although it is better to have multiple revenue streams, it is highly likely that you might not be able to deliver on that early on in the business. The most common revenue streams are one-off purchases of products or services, pay-for-usage models, advertising, and subscriptions. Marketplaces also often get revenue from a commission system, where a certain amount is paid to the platform and the rest is kept by the seller on the marketplace. The commission model can also be referred to as brokerage or affiliate fees. Here's a worked example. Uneco takes a 10% commission on every sale that happens through the platform. In the future, the startup could look into partnering with sewing machine brands and take a cut of their sales if the purchase by one of the Uneco's customers was made through the relevant affiliate link. Broadly speaking, costs can be divided into variable and fixed costs. The variable costs change depending on the quantities of products made or the services delivered. If you are using PayPal or Stripe as a payments provider, for example, transaction costs would vary depending on the total transaction volume. Furthermore, you will also have customer acquisition costs. This would come from the marketing costs. Alternatively, for sales-led businesses, customer acquisition costs would be driven by the wages of the sales team, if you have one. Fixed costs can include labour, equipment, web hosting, or a variety of others. Although you might not intend to pay yourself in the near future of the business, it is useful to think about these costs for the future. Here's another worked example. Key costs for the business would be web hosting, the marketplace platform ShareTribe, Stripe transaction fees, payments to schools who refer customers to the platform, and in the long term, salaries for the founders and other overhead costs like office space. Metrics are essential if you want to run a successful business. If you aren't measuring key metrics, then you don't have a good sense of whether your business is actually improving. It is also very easy to get metrics wrong. Too often entrepreneurs focus on superficial metrics that are often known as vanity metrics. A good example of a vanity metric is the number of website visitors. Although the website can be part of the customer acquisition funnel, the number itself isn't a good indicator of the quality of the business. After all, you could have hundreds of thousands of visitors, but if over 99% leave in the first minute, then you are unlikely to grow quickly. Here's another worked example. As a marketplace business, Unico would track the following metrics: gross merchandise value, net revenue, gross margin, contribution margin per order, customer retention, seller retention, transactions frequency, average transaction value, customer lifetime value over the paid customer acquisition costs, and others. We've included a list of metrics for other types of businesses and the additional resources on our Slack channel. Your channels are the pathways to your customers. It is not enough to just think about social media advertising, especially given the fact that you probably have no marketing budget. It is worth thinking about where your customers currently are and how you can use existing infrastructures to reach them. The founders of Stripe, for example, acquired customers amongst fellow Y Combinator participants as they had access to them whilst they were all on the accelerator program. Social media is for sure a powerful tool for customer acquisition in the current day and age. So when talking about social media as a channel, it is important to find out what types of social media work best for your customer. Here's a final worked example. For Unico, the key channels would be school newsletters, Facebook groups for parents, Facebook groups for those interested in living more sustainably, and in the future, Unico plans to use channels such as local authority newsletters and school events. Here are a few final thoughts. It is worth updating and revisiting the canvas as you continue developing the business. It is a work in progress, just like your startup. Check out our Slack channel for extra resources and templates that will help you to get started.